Dive into the annals of history, and you'll find a figure shrouded in darkness and horror, Vlad the Impaler. Born as Vlad III in 1431, in the heart of what is now Romania, this man would grow to become one of history's most enigmatic and feared rulers. His life was forged in the tumultuous fires of the 15th century, a time when empires clashed and the very fabric of society was constantly in flux. Vlad III was no ordinary child. He was born into the house of Dracula, a lineage steeped in power and politics. His father, Vlad II, was a member of the Order of the Dragon, a chivalric order committed to halting the expansion of the Ottoman Empire into Europe. It is from this association that we derive the name Dracula, a moniker that has since become synonymous with the legend of the vampire. Vlad III, or Vlad the Impaler as he would later be known, was thrust into this world of conflict and intrigue at a young age. His life was a chessboard and he was a pawn, traded and maneuvered by the larger forces at play. The stage was set for him to become a ruler, a warrior, and an icon of terror. His rule as the voivode, or ruler, of Wallachia was marked by a ruthless desire for power and a cruel penchant for punishment. His preferred method of execution, impalement, would earn him his grisly nickname and cast a long, dark shadow over his legacy. But Vlad the Impaler was more than just a brutal ruler. He was a man of his time, shaped by the circumstances of his birth and the pressures of his rule. His story is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of power, fear, and survival. Born into chaos, Vlad the Impaler would become a figure of both fear and fascination. His life and reign remain a captivating chapter in the pages of history, a tale that continues to intrigue and unsettle us, even centuries after his death. Vlad's tale begins not with blood, but with birth and lineage. Born in the early 15th century in the fortress city of Sighisoara, Vlad III was the second son to his father, Vlad II Dracula, a member of the Order of the Dragon, an organization dedicated to halting the Ottoman Empire's expansion into Europe. His name, Dracula, meaning dragon or devil in Romanian, was later passed on to his son, thus birthing the moniker synonymous with terror, Dracula. As a child, Vlad and his younger brother, Radu, were held hostage by the Ottomans as assurance of their father's loyalty. It was during this time that Vlad developed a deep-seated hatred for the Ottomans, a sentiment that would later shape his rule and his legacy. Upon his father's assassination and his older brother's death, Vlad ascended to the throne of Wallachia, a region in modern-day Romania. However, his rule was anything but secure. The young voivode found himself in a constant power struggle, his reign interspersed with periods of imprisonment and exile. Despite these challenges, Vlad proved to be a remarkably resilient ruler. He managed to regain his throne not once, but 3 times, each ascension marked by a bloody purge of his enemies. His reign, though marred by conflict, was also characterized by a strict sense of justice and order. He implemented harsh punishments for crimes, often resorting to his infamous method of impalement to maintain law and order. Though his rule was marked by blood and violence, Vlad was also known for his strategic acumen. He skillfully navigated the complex political landscape of the time, playing off the tensions between the Ottomans and the Kingdom of Hungary to maintain his precarious position of power. Vlad's rise to power was as tumultuous as the times he lived in. His reign, though brutal, was a testament to his steadfast resolve and strategic mind. His story serves as a stark reminder of the ruthless measures some leaders resort to in their quest for power. With power in his grasp, Vlad demonstrated a strategic mind in the battlefield. His rule was marked by a relentless drive to secure and consolidate his power, and his military tactics were pivotal in achieving this. Vlad was a master of psychological warfare, understanding the power of fear as a weapon. His reputation for extreme cruelty was not accidental, but a calculated strategy to intimidate his enemies. He knew that a terrified enemy was already half defeated. One of his most notable military tactics was his use of guerrilla warfare. During the night attack of Targovista, Vlad led a daring assault against the invading Ottoman forces. Outnumbered 3-1, he turned to unconventional strategies. The voivode of Wallachia orchestrated a night raid, targeting the Ottoman camp when they least expected it. This surprise attack resulted in heavy losses for the Ottomans, and Vlad's forces lived to fight another day. Vlad also had a keen understanding of his landscape, often using the Carpathian Mountains to his advantage. He would lure his enemies into difficult terrains, where his forces could then easily ambush them. This strategic use of geography was crucial in several of his victories. However, it was not just his battlefield tactics that distinguished Vlad. His administrative reforms were equally impactful. He strengthened the economy of Wallachia, fortified its cities, and established a standing army. He understood that a strong military was only as good as the state that supported it. His most significant achievement was resisting the Ottoman Empire, one of the most powerful forces of the time. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Vlad's military strategies and his unyielding will allowed Wallachia to maintain its independence during his rule. But Vlad's rule was also marked by a chilling brutality that would become his defining legacy. His preferred method of execution, impalement, was not only a punishment, but a statement of power and a tool of psychological warfare. His military prowess was undeniable, but it was his methods that would etch his name in history. Vlad's rule was marked by a chilling signature, the stake. This was not just some random choice of punishment. No, it was a calculated decision, a horrifying spectacle of power and fear that Vlad intentionally cultivated. The impalement, his method of choice, was a slow, agonizing death that could last for hours, even days. It was a gruesome sight, with victims often left on display as a stark warning to others. The methods of Vlad the Impaler were not just limited to his enemies. He was known to use this cruel punishment on his own citizens too. One anecdote tells of a time when he invited the boyars, the Wallachian nobility, to a feast. After they had eaten, he asked them how many rulers they had seen in their lifetimes. When they answered with a number greater than his liking, Vlad decided to solve the problem of political instability. He had them all impaled, replacing them with loyal followers from the lower classes. In another account, Vlad once came across a man whose shirt was too short, a sign of laziness in Vlad's eyes. The poor man's fate? Impalement, of course. Yes, even for something as trivial as a short shirt, Vlad would not hesitate to use his favorite method of punishment. Vlad's reign was a time of terror, and his preferred method of execution, impalement, was the embodiment of that terror. It was a clear message to all who would dare oppose him, a chilling reminder of the power he held, and the lengths he would go to maintain it. But why impalement? Why such a brutal method? Some historians believe that it was a psychological tactic, a means to instill fear and obedience in his subjects and enemies alike. Others suggest that it was a reflection of his sadistic nature. But whichever way you look at it, one thing is certain. Vlad's use of impalement was a terrifying symbol of his rule, a gruesome spectacle that would forever mark his reign. His name, Vlad the Impaler, was well earned, striking fear into the hearts of friend and foe alike. Vlad's reign was not without its opponents, most notably the formidable Ottoman Empire. This relationship was marred by conflict and opposition, largely due to Vlad's refusal to pay tribute to Sultan Mehmed II. Vlad's refusal was not only a political statement, but also a strategic move to maintain his independence and power. The tension between Vlad and the Ottoman Empire escalated into full-blown warfare, with Vlad leading his forces against the might of the Ottoman armies. One notable encounter was the night attack, where Vlad attempted to assassinate Sultan Mehmed II, showcasing his audacity and tactical prowess. Despite the overwhelming odds, Vlad's resistance against the Ottoman Empire was seen as a symbol of defiance, a stand against subjugation, and a fight for autonomy. It was this relentless opposition that cemented Vlad's reputation as a fearless leader, albeit a ruthless one. His defiance of the Ottomans marked a significant chapter in his rule. Every reign has its end, and Vlad's was no exception. After a tumultuous rule marked by conflict and cruelty, Vlad found himself imprisoned. The intricate details of his capture remain shrouded in mystery, yet it marked the end of his reign, the end of an era. But even as Vlad's personal power waned, his impact continued to echo through history. His legacy, you see, is a complex tapestry woven with threads of terror, respect, and fascination. Historically, he's remembered as a ruler who defended his land and people with a ruthlessness that still chills the spine. And then there's his influence in popular culture. His association with the Dracula legend has immortalized him as a figure of horror and intrigue. This portrayal has been etched deeply into our collective consciousness, shaping our perception of vampires and the supernatural. From a ruler to a prisoner, Vlad's life was a story of power, brutality, and enduring legend. Vlad the Impaler, a name that echoes through history. From his tumultuous early life to his brutal reign as the voivode of Wallachia, Vlad's story is one of power, cruelty, and an unyielding will to protect his homeland. His military strategies and achievements set him apart, even as his infamous reputation for impalement painted a chilling image. His interactions with the Ottoman Empire were fraught with conflict, standing toe-to-toe with Sultan Mehmed II, a testament to his formidable character. Vlad's eventual imprisonment marked the end of his rule, but not his influence. His legacy, intertwined with the Dracula legend, has permeated popular culture, influencing literature, films, and more. Yet, it's crucial to delve deeper, to explore the historical context and different perspectives to truly understand this complex figure. In the shadows of history, Vlad the Impaler continues to loom large, a figure as intriguing as he is terrifying.